Good afternoon, everybody. Step 2 of the 3 skills that you need to gain by the end of this course is called a SWOT analysis. And a SWOT analysis is fairly straightforward, as long as you remember a few key things. So let's look at the square that you see in front of you and comment on a few things. First of all, if you take a look at strengths and weaknesses, you should know that these are product, service, strengths and weaknesses only. In other words, they're all internal. They do not relate to anything outside the property or the business. So that's the first thing. Opportunities and threats are always external. Their opportunities are beyond the property and the business, and they are things that do not exist but could exist. Threats are issues that have an influence or impact on the business and are also external. So that's looking from left to right. Now look from top to bottom. Strengths and opportunities are positive, and weaknesses and threats are negative. Now here's another tip for you. Remember that weaknesses and threats can be used to write an objective. And if you remember this tip, writing objectives will be easy because once you've done a SWOT, you've already got the groundwork for writing objectives. Quick example. The rooms at this hotel are small. Well, an objective would be to design suites that are larger. So you can see that weaknesses and threats are important. So, how did I write my SWOT? Well, I decided to grab everything that I could get for strengths, and I've grouped them there as 4. There's obviously a lot more than 4, but I like the fact that they've got a new conference center. That's important. The location is also important. Look how their location here in western Quebec is so close to Boston, New York, Montreal, and Toronto, and of course southern Ontario. So in that respect, it's definitely a strength. It's also located on the Ottawa River, so it has access by boat from Montreal and Ottawa. And so atmosphere is unique. When we go there on a field trip, you will know this. You will know that this is not an average hotel, and it's definitely unique. So these are the strengths that I figured out. Now, weaknesses. There are a few weaknesses that I came up with, and here they are. The fact that the hotel is quite old is off-putting for some. They will go to this property and will say, oh, I don't like this, it's very musty and old. And they can't do anything about that. It was built a long time ago. It's not a large hotel, and so that they're limited to the types of conferences that they can attract. When they built the rooms originally, they were quite small. Apart from the suites, and even the suites aren't big ones. The hotel is expensive to run, and it's expensive to maintain. It's also a 4-star luxury resort, so it's not cheap. Is that a weakness? Well, in a way it is, because it restricts the markets that they attract. Now, take a look. You've got location at the bottom. Now, how come location can be in both strengths and weaknesses? Well, They can, so don't worry about that. Location is a weakness because being an hour and a half from Ottawa and being an hour and a half from Montreal adds to the cost for travel time and can be seen as one reason why people would not want to book there if it was for a meeting. So let's go to threats. Threats are issues that are external and almost always include competition. So where is the competition for Chateau Montebello? Well, one competing site is of course the Mont Tremblant, all the hotels in Tremblant, because they're also four-season resorts. Auto Montreal hotels are threats, and so you can see that I've broken down the threats by region, and you can see here also that gas price fluctuation is a threat. It's a threat because when gas prices go up, people drive less, and most of the customers come from Ontario and Quebec. Weather can be perceived as a threat, and because it's so uncertain these days, it's an issue for guests that need some good weather, and it's just becoming a little bit less certain. The Canadian-U.S. economy, the economy is always a threat, and in its current state, I would say that we're still facing challenges. So those are threats. You can see that they're all external. And here's some opportunities. Well, opportunities are things, markets, products that are external. You can see I put down China there because it's a potential market. Canada is now an approved destination for Chinese, and with the Chinese economy booming, it's got to be perceived as an opportunity. The hotel offers a unique Canadian experience, and this is very attractive for the Chinese market. Two trends that I see today in our industry is wellness, spa, and spirituality. And they have a spa, but they haven't really gone beyond the physical spa, and there's enormous potential there to do that. Culinary experience workshops is an obvious one because they have some excellent cuisine in Quebec, and there's no reason why they shouldn't turn those into workshops to teach people this. And then I've put down a couple of other ones. Grey Market, which is the seniors market. Maybe not so good simply because of their limited budgets, but there's potential there. Things like weddings and international market are always opportunities. So think about improved services, things about improved facilities, things that they don't already have, and think about new markets or different ways to get new markets, and you will have opportunities. So there's our SWOT analysis. It's done, and hopefully this will give you a good idea of how to proceed in your final exam. For the final case study, your SWOT analysis is easy. It's done for you. It's on page 200 of your textbook, and all you have to do is present your SWOT analysis. So is that easy? Yes, it is. Learning doesn't have to be difficult, and for your final case study, your SWOT is done for you. Good luck, and we'll go to the next step, which is how to write an objective.